All right, moving right along. What's happening, everyone? It's Adam. Welcome back. In today's video, man, Techtober, I swear, there's so many things to review. I wish I had the money and the time to review all these products, but I'm only reviewing products I really like or I'm really interested in. And when the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, which is what I'm reviewing today, came out, I was stoked, namely because I had a really good feeling these are going to do great with the microphone quality, but also with active noise canceling. Now, it's a weird, awkward middle child between the 75T and 85Ts, especially with the naming scheme. I mean, where does Elite 7 Pro fit in? I mean, this is the first time they had Pro in any naming product they had with their earbuds or even headphones. So that's what I'm going to be reviewing today. Thanks for watching ahead of time, and I hope this helps. So first off, let's go over the specs of these because there's a lot to cover with them. So number one, they come in 3 different colors. I got the silverish black ones. They come in all black at Best Buy, and then they also have a beige color, which was my favorite, but those were extremely back ordered. So they have active noise canceling. You can use them in mono and stereo mode. Yes, I said that right. You can use each earbud independently, finally, because they didn't come with that for the 85Ts. The wireless connectivity is Bluetooth, obviously, Bluetooth 5.2. And they have a range of 33 feet for the connectivity, IP57 water resistant. So in other words, I think these are, now that I think about it, I think these are the first true wireless earbuds you can pretty much take a swim in and dunk them in water, and the microphone should work still as well as the audio. The battery life is 8 hours of battery time with the earbuds out of the case, 30 hours total with the charging case. And it takes about 5 minutes with fast charge to give you an hour of playback. There is Qi wireless charging and they charge via USB-C. So that's quite a bit of features already, not including the microphone performance that seems to be the biggest thing they're promoting. And I'll definitely do a pretty heavy duty microphone test. I mean, you can't, maybe you can see it in the frame, but I have my Bluetooth speaker right here to do a few different types of microphone tests to see how well they do. So far so good. And when it comes to the case, it has a matte finish, very premium feeling. It doesn't attract fingerprints really easy. There's an LED light indicator for your battery life. And then the USB-C port is on the front, which I don't mind at all. I don't really care where it is. I mean, it's not like I use them at the same time I'm charging them in my pocket or something. So for me, so far so good. And when it comes to the controls, I actually have one important thing I noticed, and that is with the app between Android and iOS. So with iOS, you don't get volume controls for some reason, and I did email Jabra about this. Hopefully they do a firmware update even after this review. I'd be totally fine with it, but I'm not sure when. So as of October 19th, if they do it tomorrow, at least I warned you ahead of time still. But with Android, you do have volume controls where you hold it for a second on either earbud, depending on how you configure it for volume up and volume down. Besides that, the controls on either app are the same. So pretty much have your basic control settings here. Play pause pressing once, double tap to skip forward, triple tap to go back. You can customize the left or the right for cycling through ANC, HearThrough, and turning it off. And when you're on calls, this is something very important to bring up. I thought was awesome. You can turn side tone on and off while you're on a call now, and you can mute your calls. So that's what makes these feel really pro when it comes to the controls. Is finally, I just feel like you have total control of everything you're doing, even on phone calls now. But again, there's no multi-point connectivity with these. I don't know how much of a big deal that is for you, but I think it's going to be a while until that's kind of the standard with true wireless earbuds, period. I mean, it's really hard to do that with technology like this. I mean, you have 2 different earbuds connected to each other, trying to connect to your case and your phone. That's a lot of different connections, you know? So I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I'm kind of over it at this point, honestly. All right, now let's talk about the fit of these. So I'm going to put them in my ears. And obviously I'm going to have HearThrough on because the ANC is way too good. I'll be talking way too loud. But before I get to how good the ANC, the HearThrough, and just the overall sound of these are, I have to say the fit is one of the best fits I ever had in a pair of true wireless earbuds, where coincidentally, the only pair of earbuds as far as comfort goes that compete with these, and that includes doing workouts and everything, are the Jabra Vista 2s, where those, the ANC is not as good as these. I'll just say that out the bat. But for $199, I would say the fit is absolutely comparable with those in the same price range. And overall, I think it's because they have a way better seal where the silicone tips don't feel so cheap and they feel more pliable and mushy, I guess. They're not the silicone foam tips that you would find in the WF-1000XM4s, but I wasn't really a big fan of those anyway. I like it when it's more this kind of material because it's just easier to take in and out of my ear, and I just have to adjust weight less. And yes, I will do a shake test real quick to show you how well they do fit. Okay, hopefully that was good enough because when I usually work out in these or I go for a run or a walk or whatever, I rarely have to adjust these, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. They fit well and they basically stay in your ears. It's only if I push the buttons a little too much. Obviously, I have to adjust them then, but it's rare. So the medium tips are what fit best for me, but they do have small, medium, and large. Hopefully that's the right fit for most. I think it will be. They fit great. Now let's talk about sound with these. So first thing I'll say right off the bat when it comes to the sound is I noticed a dramatic increase in bass with the Elite 7 Pros compared to the 75Ts and 85Ts. This is the best way I can put it. I'm not an audiophile, but this will make sense. So there's some earbuds, and I think most, where instead of the drivers increasing more in bass and working harder on bass, it's really just an increase in distortion and reverb. So it sounds like there's more bass. It just basically gets louder. These actually work harder with the drivers to give you more bass. I feel it a lot more in my ears with these than the 85Ts and the 75Ts. So that alone tells me these are much better. And I would say get these over those just if you care about music quality. Now, when it comes to the mids and the lows, and to give you some reference of music I was listening to, Meek Mill's newest album, Big Sean's Detroit album, the latest one he came out with, Evil Empire for Rage Against the Machine, and also Tool's Fear Inoculum album. So a wide range of music with just those alone, and testing these. Didn't matter if it was Danny Carey's drums in Fear Inoculum, or if it was Maynard singing in Eat the Elephant, or if it was all the bass, especially with the intro song of freaking Meek Mill's new album. Everything bumped. Everything sounded great. I mean, I had no issues when it came to clarity, hearing instrument separation, and overall, I think Jabra did much better without sounding typical with their music profile, where I usually prefer to have a music EQ preset for whatever I'm listening to. These, it sounds great just on the neutral setting. But if any of that is not enough with customizability on your own or the preset EQ settings, they also have My Sound, which basically is letting you know or testing how good you hear frequencies, and it will tune an EQ profile literally to your liking and how you actually hear. So have no issues with that. Of course, the soundscapes in the app, which basically you don't have to download a third-party app to hear a ventilation fan or a waterfall or whatever, anything like that, to focus better if you're in a loud environment, or maybe you just need to listen to something like that when you're trying to go to sleep kind of thing. So pretty dope. I mean, it offers enough except for the volume setting issue. So when it comes to the ANC, the active noise canceling, I have to say these are the best at blocking out high-pitched frequencies. So dogs barking and anything like that, milk steamers and pictures like that in a coffee shop. It's the first time in a while I really wasn't able to hear that. And I live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of dogs, and no joke, even on my walk earlier today, I couldn't hear them, which is kind of crazy. I mean, they'd have to really be next to me and not in a distance, where with every other pair of True Wireless earbuds, I don't know what it is. No matter how, even with the WF-1000XM4s, those still let in high-pitched noises. And I think Bose was probably close to being the best. The Jabra Elite 7 Pros, hands down, are the best at blocking out high-pitched frequencies. Now, overall sound, they're more comparable with Bose than they are Sony, though. I still will give Sony the best for overall how much compression you get, but high-pitched noises, Jabra somehow mastered that. I don't know how they did. You can adjust the active noise canceling to your liking, and definitely test this out when you are in a loud environment. So when you create that custom active noise canceling profile, you really know what you're blocking out. Don't just guess in a quiet room. You can adjust HearThrough, and HearThrough sounds way more natural, where for some reason I had like an insecure feeling or an issue with how artificial HearThrough sounded with previous products. Now it sounds natural, other people's voices sound natural, and nothing is amplified. It just opens up the mics, so it really sounds like you would when you just don't have them in your ears. So major improvement on that. And overall, I just think it's really impressive. I think it's worth the money just for the active noise canceling and how they did HearThrough alone compared to previous products. Now I'm going to do a microphone test, and to give some context of this, I'm going to do a coffee shop test, obviously quiet room, and dogs barking to kind of give a shout out or do a test for those with pets. I don't have dogs, but I know a lot of people are going to be working from home with these. So let me set that up and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and what you're hearing is the Jabra Elite 7 Pros in my quiet office. So test 1, 2, 3, there's a little bit of echo in here. I don't have it totally soundproofed. And then I'm going to play the coffee shop ambient noise. And okay, that's actually pretty loud. I have the ANC on, and I can tell it's really loud. So I'm going to be quiet for a second to see how well or not so well the ambient noise comes through. Okay, now I'm going to continue talking. I'm going to pause that now, and then I'm going to go to a dog barking. So I'm just going to pull up something on YouTube or whatever, since I don't have dogs. Now I got that dog barking. Sounds like a puppy whining, maybe. Okay, let's see if we can get one more dog in here. Let's see. Okay, that's like a chihuahua or something. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to stop that now. I'm going to test a couple other things. So you can take these out to mute yourself on a phone call. So let me see if that works. All right, it sounds like it worked. It said unmuted. And then I'll do one more thing. So now that you can use mono mode, I'm going to put the right earbud in just to show a real world test on if it actually works. I can actually hear side tone on this still, and the voice recorder is still going. So pretty dope. I wonder if there was a noticeable difference in using one earbud too. But that's the microphone test. Let's get to the rest of the review. Okay, so do I think the Jabra Elite 7 Pros are worth the money for $199, especially given that the other products are cheaper? I would say skip the other products. Don't worry about the 75Ts or 85Ts. Get the Elite 7 Pros because of the ANC alone and the microphone quality. I mean, just even when it comes to HearThrough, the microphones are just so much better. Not just for, and even with that solo earbud use microphone test I did, I wasn't even planning to do that. I was pretty impressed with just one earbud. So instead of 4 mics, you were using 2, or I was using 2 technically on that test. But how well the microphones pick up ambient noise, where it's not so artificial, your voice doesn't sound weird with side tone or anything. It made a dramatic difference with the microphone. So that's the biggest plus of getting these. Even, I mean, the music quality was much better with the bass, but everything else sounded the same, and it was minor differences with me noticing any better pitch in the highs or the mids or anything. So at the end of the day, I think they did a really good job with these. It's definitely worth the upgrade if you're going to upgrade, or if you're just considering getting these as your first job repair true wireless earbuds. So it definitely set a new precedent, I guess, in how I feel, because I definitely am going to be using these more than the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, and they're for sure better than WF-1000XM4s, even though those are slightly better with ANC. So you get a lot of good value with your money. I mean, good job, Jabra, on these. That's it for my review. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see y'all on the next one.